Hot 107.9 Acadiana's hottest music. It is the Morning Buzz and Digital. We've got a studio just full of people.
It's packed, man. Look, whenever Remy Ma is in town, you got the entourage that follows. Also, a ton of fans in here. But we're going to shift gears a little bit. And Remy Ma, by the way, thank you for being with us here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And she's a bit upset that she missed Patty in the Park. She's learning about Patty in the Park.
I'm upset. Someone should have told me about that. I was like in a hotel watching HGTV.
You could have come out.
Like, right.
Yeah, we had green beer and you were watching that.
It's unbelievable.
But you performed with, I think, the greatest band in the land. You actually did a live show with Southern University.
Amazing.
Yeah, how much practice time did you have with them?
I mean, we practiced very hard for a whole 16 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
And
How many songs?
like we did 2 songs,
Okay.
but when I tell you they were amazing. Like it was so flawless. Like you would have thought that we had weeks to practice.
You should
They
take them
had
on
it
the road.
perfect. I mean,
You should be
if
like,
it wasn't
no.
5 million of them,
Could you imagine the writer?
like if I could get like a downsized version,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Just
like,
the
I would
best of
love
every
to.
instrument. Just come see
they're
me.
the only
They're
band.
all the best though. They're all
Yes.
really
They're
good.
the only band that I've ever seen in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome keep everyone in the dome during halftime.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, people don't get up.
Most bands will come in and, I'm going to get beer. I'm going to get something to eat during halftime. Southern performed at a game we were at,
Yep.
and no one moved.
No, they are amazing. And with the event, it was actually to help raise money, right? So that they could actually go on the road. It's sad that they're so talented and they're so amazing, but there's no funding for them to travel. There's so many of them. They don't have their own buses. They don't have, the things that they need in order to go perform at their games.
Don't you think they would have that?
I would think so, especially as a talent.
Yeah.
It's not like you're
Right.
investing in somebody that you're like, they're all right. I don't really know.
There's
They're-
one way to
yeah,
get that.
they're
We could get them
really good.
into the Macy's Thanksgiving parade one
Yeah.
day. You get paid when you go there.
Get the check.
Maybe
You get the Macy's check.
Yeah.
A great performance, by the way, Remy, with them. You've had a run, all the way up, Money Showers. I mean, just thinking of all the... You haven't missed yet, in my opinion, on all the records that you've been on. The latest single, though, probably my favorite. The sample, I heard it immediately. I'm like, what are we doing here? Mint condition?
Mint Condition.
But then you flip the sample, and the track is great. Melanin Magic, the name of it right now. What made you choose that sample? I gotta know.
Well, I can't take responsibility for that.
Someone knew.
That's my brother Fat Joe.
Okay.
Who he's EPing my album. He's executive producer of my album.
Wow.
And he called me. Actually, he didn't even call me. He called me ahead of time. He's like, "Hey, I got something for you later." And it was actually last year, right after the BET Awards. So I'm in the car, and we're super hyped because I just won. He's like, "Oh, yeah, sis, now get back to work." And he throws it in the car. I'm like, "What's this?" He's like, "If you don't like it, I'll just use it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's one of those where he's going to have to," because sometimes he gives me beats, and I'm like, I don't really know about it, and then I love it later.
Yeah.
But I put it in, it's like, bim, bim. I'm like, is he crazy?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this. I had already, I've known Chris Brown for years since we were both.
Was he on the
young.
hook when you heard the track?
No.
So it was just
it was
beat
empty.
only.
But I knew like that's who I wanted to get on it from the second that I heard it, and I say within the next 4 days the record was done, and it's so cool because I knew it was a mint condition sample, but then one day I was like searching my name on Twitter, and mint condition is like, yeah, new Remy Ma record coming soon. Melanin Magic. I was like,
Check
yo,
cleared.
they're like,
the check cleared.
possibly that's what happened. But I was just like so hyped. And then I go on Instagram and they're like, follow me on Instagram. So like they
Wow.
support my record. So to have the person who actually made the original record love the way you did it over, that was like the extra boost of confidence. I was like, okay, maybe I did something right here.
Now, look, before we throw a curveball at you with our intern here in studio, for those who have a perception of Chris Brown now, you know him well. What's it like to work with him? Tell us something about him that maybe we don't know.
First of all, people will have no idea how hard he works, and he loves it. I can recall, and I tell people the story all the time, the first time in recent years since I've been around him in an intimate setting, and this is before he put out the album with 45 songs on it. And those were I guess the best of the 1 million he had to choose from. He literally stood in the house with us. We were at French Montana's house, and he performed for at least 6 hours straight. Like, oh wait, hold on, I have another one. The hit record after hit record that you've never heard before, but they're all amazing. He's singing to them, he's dancing to them, and it's so inspiring to see somebody like, we're not an audience, we're like his friends. I'm in the kitchen, I'm cooking, Prince is over there like macking to somebody, Love and Hip Hop is on the TV, like, and he is just going full. It's 4 a.m. We're like, all right, good night. He's like, hold on, wait, one more moonwalk with this record. Like, he really goes hard, and if he loves it, he's not one of those artists. You would think, the caliber of artist that he is, that he'd be a little bit Hollywood and think, like, you call him, if he likes the record, if he's on it, like, he sends it to you immediately. When we shot the video, he was like, okay, he did whatever he did. I'm just sitting there. We're all in the camera blown away, like, because he's busting out all these dance moves that's not even choreographed. He's like, are you okay with it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you sure? Do you want me to do anything else? I'm like, well, if you can run up that wall again and do another backflip, then it wouldn't mind. But amazing. Song comes out, sis, send it to me. I want to post it. I want to, like, he's just so involved in everything. He's not Hollywood at all. He's just a regular person, but he's super amazingly talented. Amazing.
Wow. The balance, I'm impressed. I was talking to you off the air, just the promo run that you're on and just the work that you do. How do you balance, television, music, new album? I mean, how do you put it all together and prioritize? Like, what gets priority in Remy Ma's life?
Well, I have somebody that does my schedule for me.
Okay, let's call a manager.
Yeah, they deserve a raise. I'm sure you pay them nicely.
No, actually, they think I'm like Superwoman. That I'm like, excuse me. I looked at my schedule. I noticed there's no time for me to sleep in there at all. Like, it's just 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
I could do it for 2 days maybe, but the third day, could I just get a nap 15 minutes?
So there it is.
But in all actuality, you just do it. I think of the times when I wasn't able to do what I'm doing now, or some of the people that wish that they could be doing what I'm doing. You always have to be grateful for the blessings that you do have. I'd rather be working every day nonstop and, a little bit tired, a little bit groggy, and doing what I love to do, as opposed to sitting at home wishing somebody would call me to be somewhere, or wishing I could get an interview and things like that. So I'm just super grateful. I don't really complain about much. I just be like, okay, fine, 32 more hours till I get some sleep. I'm cool with that.
The third
Let's
day
go
nap,
with it.
though. The third day nap is always.
Can I get an apple just along the way, please? Just on the car ride. But I'm cool with that.
Hey, look, we had plenty more questions to get to, but we thought we would do something different because, sometimes you get these radio guys and they ask you the same predictable questions. So we thought we'd bring intern John in and let him wrap up the interview with a few questions. So intern John, if you would, question number 1.
All right. So it's 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I don't know how late, the club shuts down in New York. Mm-hmm. What you gonna eat to sober up a little bit? Like, what's your favorite junk food out there?
It's not an apple.
Yeah, it's not an apple.
But I don't drink, so I'm like, I can't really say what I would have to sober up. But at about 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, when I do, I'm most likely starving, and anything goes. We have like a thing with my whole team. We call ourselves the peanut butter and jelly gang.
Oh, there you go.
So like, we literally live for peanut butter and jelly. If you go to any one of my dressing rooms, any rider that I have, like, there has to be peanut butter and jelly on deck. Like, and that's our thing. We're cool with that. Like, we it's cool when we get there and have the fruit platter and the chicken and the vegetable stuff. But if we come in, it's just like mounds of bread and peanut butter and jelly.
Crust or no crust?
Like, I like the crust on it.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite places to stay in New Orleans, actually, at midnight, they come out with a peanut butter and jelly spread at midnight for its guest. Yeah, Le Pavillon.
You got to stay at Le Pavillon.
There you go. On Pointers.
Go get that PB.
Question number 2, intern John.
All right. So when you're not working, what's your favorite state to visit?
When I'm not working, when would that be?
Well, she's always working, but
I would say North Carolina. My mom and my grandmother and my sisters, my brother, most of my family lives in North Carolina, and I just recently built a house there, and I opened a store called Conceited there, and I have beauty salon that I'm almost opened. It's there now, but we don't have the stuff yet. So whenever I get free time, like I run with like wings on my shoes to North Carolina before they put something else in my schedule. I love it because, the people there, they're super. The people here are amazing too, by the way. I'll get to that with you guys later. They fed me so great yesterday. I had alligator and everything, but that's a whole nother thing. It was really good. I was like, y'all just got to think of a different name for it. I just don't like calling it alligator.
It tastes like chicken. They'll always tell you that.
Yeah, but I don't want it to be called alligator.
Yeah.
All. Just AG. Call it something.
AG.
Just throw me off. But the people in North Carolina, they're like just so calm. And everything's yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and how may I help you? And the sweet tea is just so good. And I just love it. When I'm there, I'm at peace. My phone rings. I'm like, can't do anything. Airport shut down at 8 o'clock. Can't help you. So I love North Carolina. That's my state to chilling when I'm not working.
Next.
Cool. All right. So, what's your favorite show to binge watch?
I must admit, I'm a HGTV girl.
Is that like Property Brothers?
That's private.
Is that the two guys with the
But
houses?
it's two channels. I do HGTV and sometimes I do the DIY channel. But Property Brothers, Joe and Chip Gaines, the Flip or Flop. I watch all of them. Like seriously, like my dream. Like reality TV is cool. I love hosting daytime TV. That's great, wonderful. Music is great. If I get my own show on HGTV, like I'm hanging it up. Bye, Mike. Bye, Rap World.
Wow.
Love you guys. I'm getting the pink pickup truck and I'm gonna live in Home Depot for the rest of my life.
You know who did that? Vanilla Ice.
Love
very
him.
successful after the music career doing that.
Amazing. Like his house flips that he do, he is
he on that channel?
Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah.
see his show too.
Yeah, he's
does mansions though. He gets like the waterfront properties in like Florida and turns them into like crazy
it's amazing what he does.
rap
the show.
star type mansions.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what I love to do. That's my
I
thing.
think he's got one more.
Oh yeah. All right. So it's been a while since the '90s. What fashion trend from the '90s would you like to see come back?
A while since the 90s. I don't really know. I just gave my husband an 80s, 90s party the other day, and people was looking crazy. Like the 80s ones, like you could tell who picked the 80s and who picked the 80s is kind of fly. The 90s,
Maybe the
everything
question should
was
be what
like-
shouldn't come back?
like I
What
just
should we
can't
leave in
think
the
of
90s?
anything
Leave the
that
hypercolor
was,
shirts
like,
back in the 90s.
Everyone had like, if you wore a size 2, you had to get a size 5X. It was just weird, crazy. I can't really think of anything from the 90s that I would bring. I think just let's leave them there for a while.
I think the 90s were good for one thing,
Too
one-hit
soon.
wonders.
Yeah, a lot of one-hit wonders.
In the
Yeah.
90s,
And a lot of
that's,
bands, a
yes.
lot of like girl groups, guy groups. That's cool. But the clothing wise, let's just leave that right there for a little while. We'll revisit this question like in 2020 something.
Intern John, I'm impressed, Intern John, with these questions. Any more questions for Remy? Was that the last
Got
one?
a composition
He's
full.
actually turning the
That's
page.
the
That was the last one.
That's it.
That's the
Okay,
last
so I mean, I gotta
Job
give
well
it up.
done, Intern John.
Intern John,
He's got potential.
he's here, and one day we're just like, oh, by the way, you're interviewing Remy Ma today. So great questions, and
That was good questions.
yeah,
Thank you.
he did a good job.
They weren't great, but they were good.
I tried. I tried.
I'm messing with you.
We learned a lot. So next step for Remy, I know you're out of the door. You've got a couple of visits, but musically, what can we expect next? Any big features, videos, album?
Well, the album 7 Winters and 6 Summers, that's coming very, very soon this summer. I'm waiting to pick the exact date that we could stamp on. But the music is great. And I'm not just saying this because it's my music. Like, if it was trash, you guys would never hear about it. But the music is amazing. I've been shooting visuals for almost every song just because I have the money to do it. Thankfully. Like, no, sometimes, like, you want to do things. Like, with my first project, my first album, there were videos that I wanted to shoot, but I just didn't have the budget.
Yeah.
And I had to go through everything with the label. Now it's a little bit different. If the label doesn't want to do it, I'm good enough to where, all right, I'll do it myself and I'll take it out of my own pocket. So I've been shooting visuals for a lot of different records. I have a whole setup coming. There's this record that me and French that did together that's coming soon. That's amazing. They're putting it in and a soundtrack of a big movie. I don't want to say it yet, but that's coming.
Okay.
Oh, you can tell us.
No, I don't want to say. I don't want to say. But that's musically, like, that's my main focus. 7 Winners and 6 Summers, the album. But I'm also, doing a lot of things. I just got added to the cast of Queen of the South. So I was in Texas all last week filming for that show, which was like super amazing. That was one of those days where I was like working for 16 hours straight, and I was like, come on, let's go. What's the next scene?
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun and so cool. It's totally different, but still the same as working with music. And it's just so much things that I have on my plate, so many different foundations that I'm starting for women that are released from prison that don't, have things set up for them to reintegrate into society. And it's a lot of things that I'm doing.
Is that something that you saw personally, being, incarcerated? And,
oh, absolutely.
And knowing that you would be good.
Well, no, I didn't know I would.
You didn't
be
know.
good.
I was that's a very real situation.
I didn't know.
And you talk about, people that do time, and once they're out, it's like their life is completely different depending on how long you've been in, and the world is different. And some people just don't have the resources.
Okay, well, look at it like this. If I took you right now, right here from the station, and we leave, and I'm like, I'm going to put you somewhere else for a year.
Yeah.
We're not going to put you for 7 years.
Just 1 year.
Just 1 year. You can't go home.
Nope.
You can't close any bank accounts. You can't do anything. Right now, I'm taking you. So you have to think, what happens with your credit cards?
Yep.
What happens with, I'll tell you what happens. They go into judgment. You come out a year from now, your credit is screwed. If
Right.
it's not already. And everything that your home, if you own it or your lease or whatever, things that you have to take care of, you have to get all type of powers of attorney. A lot of women have children that they don't have someone to take care of them. Their children end up in the system. And unfortunately in this country, because the majority of the prison or incarcerated people are male, a lot of the programs are geared towards men. So when women come out, they don't have anything. Like there's no like construction work that they can do. You have this felony or whatever you have on your record that's permanently comes up whenever you try to get housing or you try to get a job. And it's just really difficult. By the grace of God, I was blessed enough to get, a second chance in an industry that, doesn't have all of those requirements, even though there were a lot of obstacles that I had to overcome because people didn't really know how to feel about me or move around me. And one of the reasons why I ended up doing reality TV so that people could see me as a human being and as a person that's a mom, that's a wife, that has made mistakes and changed their life. Like, you're not the same person that you are when you're 20 or when you're 25 or when you're 30 or when you're 32. So, I had to show the world everything of me in order to get the opportunities that I have now. So I would like to, anything that I could do to help other people with that, that's what I'm going to do.
So you're doing big things in the studio, but more importantly, probably outside the studio as well. That's to be noted.
Those are the things.
Now, before we let you go, we have to bring up the food. You brought it up. You said Alligator.
So tell me more about AG is what you said.
Tell us exactly how good has it been?
No, seriously. First of all, it took about how long did you convince me for a good 12 minutes? But then he tried to get carried away. He's like, yeah, while we're at it, let's try the grilled oysters. And I'm like, whoa, listen.
So is this at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Okay, they went to a restaurant.
Boiling Rouge in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just sitting there. First of all, I don't eat meat. That's the first thing.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm pretty sure alligator is meat. So he's like, no, it's not. So we Google it.
What did you tell her? What did they tell you?
No, so I Googled it. It's it actually falls under the fish category. Meat is considered animals that live on the land.
Yeah.
So I guess alligators, they live in the water, but they can come on the land, but they just...
You see, that's why the Pope said a couple of days ago that we could eat alligator on Fridays because of Lent.
That it was in there too. That's one of the examples that they used. So I'm like, all right, great. So I can't get weaseled out of it with that one.
Okay.
So because I thought I was clear, like,
was
oh
it.
no, I don't eat meat, so I can't do that.
That's not my
so
thing.
I was stuck, and I'm like, you know what? I'm here. Everyone's been super nice. I was like, if my lips blow up and I have some weird allergic reaction, you're gonna explain to Southern University that why I can't perform. But when I tell you, it was really, really good. And then I tried to trick everybody else into eating. I was like, oh, let's try this. And he's like, what's this? Oh, it's chicken. It's good.
So that's what they told me and
That's
got
what they
me.
told me too. That's how I.
Yeah, but then I had my husband who was on the sideline, but he's like, don't, she's lying. It's alligator. Don't tell it.
I see Papa.
Well, thanks for the help.
He was just trying to save everybody.
Like, wow, how's that cheese, snitch? Like, jeez. But it was actually really good, and I'm kind of considering incorporating that into my diet. Like I liked it that much.
I want
Wow.
a copy of your rider of the day. It
I gotta
says
see
fried
it.
alligator in your
No, it's
dressing room.
not going to say that. I'm seriously going to think of
It'll
another
be the
name
only
for it.
rider with peanut butter
the
and jelly
word-
and alligator.
alligator.
word alligator, it just doesn't. It just reminds me of a purse or a shoe. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't seem
I'm
like
eating
something
something
that should
I'm
be on
wearing.
it
You
doesn't
know?
seem like something
Yeah.
that should be on the menu. I'm gonna think of something that
Yeah.
we can call it that's
Okay.
like really cool, and then then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It's always been a pleasure, and
Thank
we wish you much
you.
success.
Well, I have to come back.
You
because
got
I gotta
to.
get some more.
You're coming back from Mardi Gras. Don't
yeah.
tell anyone, okay?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
We
our
gotta-
secret. You're
I say
coming
we
back from
do-
Mardi Gras.
We'll do Mardi Gras.
Early
with
March
Remy.
Can I?
next year. Can we book you now?
I mean, I'm with it.
Can we Remy Gras? I mean, we
Remy
just call it
Gras,
Remy
there we
Gras.
go.
I mean, it just sounds
We'll get
good.
what?
we'll get the mayor to
Name
sign
first,
something.
and we'll just
yeah.
figure it out.
Let's get this ink this.
Okay, we'll get it done, and we'll make sure we have peanut butter and jelly and
And AG,
AG
or whatever it's
is
called.
AG.
Yeah, there we
on
go.
the riders.
We'll
So,
go with that.
now.
Remy Ma, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, intern.
Intern John.
Hey.